But one of my favorites, Jay knows this, and I do feel like this ring is not showing that. It looks flat there, but I feel like when you get
you have to show it on your hand.
Yeah, the Labradorescence. Let me see how my sample is. Okay, we'll get it here. And I am going to recommend when you get this ring, look at this price. It's $99.90. Our appraisal value is $160. There you're going to see that Labradorescence, the way it catches the light. And that has to be cut by a skilled artisan to really catch the Labradorescence. And that's what's so magical, so intriguing, and just enchanting about Labradorite. Fully faceted. Look at all of your silver work, almost like in a little starburst design, almost creating that diamond cutting. My one recommendation would be is to go up in size because of the amount of metal, right, Jay?
They're actually made true to size, but because of the width of the shank, and we use, these are all made from sterling silver sheet material, which is custom made for us, for our silversmiths. So they work from the sheet material. The cool thing with this
see how no two will be alike.
Okay, do you see? But you can see the Labradorescence. You got a lot of light here. The different we fasted, but it actually the Labradorescence is like the light within the natural light within the stone. You know, I have Lapidaries that have been with me. Some of them have been with me well over 20 years. And so we've gone down the road together. A lot of them, my artists are some of the most skilled artists that I'm aware of anywhere. I've never, a lot of them, we do a lot of precious opal, and I used to specialize in, you saw me before, I used to spend a lot of time in Australia, and we would go right to the mines and we would buy precious opal. And precious opal is the same thing. You can't just give it to anybody to cut. It's like you wouldn't just hand somebody a diamond, a rough diamond, and say, here, whack away, right? It's the same thing with Labradorite. It's the same thing with precious opals. It has a property where it's got fire. Can you see that?
Yeah,
see,
there you go.
And see, like you put different colors behind it, it picks up a totally different thing, right?
It does.
That's kind of what's really cool with Labradorite. But not anybody can cut Labradorite. They have to have the ability to what they do call chase the fire. And if you can't, and you have, it's all about orienting the stone. When you cut the stone, you just don't cut it like turquoise. You pretty much, something like turquoise, let's say. You take it and you take the rough material and you cut it like you would slices of bread, right? You cut it, you take a saw and you just cut it, cut it, cut it. You lay out the plates and then you lay out your cabochons on your templates, and then you cut those templates. With Labradorite, it's just a totally different animal. They have to take it. As they're cutting it, they see where the fire is going in it, and then they chase that fire. And then they might be cutting it at one angle, and then all of a sudden the fire's gone, and they have to turn it a different angle and see that, and so they'll cut along that. It really truly is a skill. It takes a long time to do it, and if you can take the highest grade Labradorite in the world, the highest grade, and if you hand it to the guy, a wrong cutter, you're going to get a big gray chunk of stone, and you've seen that in a lot of the Labradorite, even the beads and everything. I'm not saying that we haven't learned that lesson. I get all this material out of Madagascar. They cob it. They have people there that they do what they call cobbing. And so what we'll do is we'll cut the pieces that only have fire. So when my lapidaries get it, they're looking at little blocks that already have fire in it. So then all they have to do then is when they cut it, they just have to chase that fire. They have to chase that refraction
point. But Jay,
point.
that takes a skilled artisan to be able to do that, right?
To tell you the truth, I mean, even some of my guys that are the people that I only let cut my precious opal, cut my fire opals, a lot of them can't cut the Labradorite. It's really, really strange. You just have to have an eye for it. But it's not something that just anybody can cut.
And no two will be alike. So
Absolutely
you can see
not.
from Angie's sample to